Welcome to Revelations, episode 23. My name is Kid Revel, if you didn't know that already. And with me today, the man, the myth, the legend, my fraternal twin, the Picasso of the 21st century.
Hey, you already know the deal.
I got Trip with me today.
Hey, it's a pleasure to fucking be here. I'm happy to finally be in here, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally on, bro. I've been trying to have this dude.
Took a few episodes.
Took a while.
But we finally here.
We rescheduled this a few times. So if it's your first time here, thank you guys for coming. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. It means a lot to me. Revelations is just a show where I talk about my life as an independent artist, try and give you guys any advice that might help you turn your hobby or your passion into a career, and you know, just some general advice that you guys might be able to receive from all the shit that I do. So, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Help us finesse the algorithm.
If you're watching this, if you're watching this shit
after the fact,
show all the love you can.
Drop a comment. If you're watching this right now, let us know if you're here. Say what's up in the chat so we know you guys are watching. And yeah, we go live every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are not catching us live, so you can catch us live next time. So
let's get into this shit,
Let's get into it. So I got my brother with me today.
Bro, we go way back.
We go way back. If you don't know, I've known this dude since elementary school, since we were like 3 or 4 years old. And you guys are probably confused why I said like my fraternal twin. If you all don't know what that means, it's like the twins that aren't identical, but they're born on the same day.
We are born on the same day.
Me and this dude are born.
No fucking fake shit.
No fake shit.
No cap. We born on the same day.
Born on the same day.
We got like an hour difference.
Couple hours apart, but although we don't come from the same womb, we come from the same cloth.
Exactly. We cut. Same.
So, you know, born on the same day, Virgo boys for life, and
you know the deal.
Yeah, so if y'all were confused, that's that. So yeah, let us know if you're in the chat. Say what's up. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. If you guys got any comments, drop them in the chat. The reason we do this live is to interact with you guys. So, you know, I don't want to make this episode too focused, because like I said earlier to you, and I've said this a few times on the stream, is like I prefer the episodes that flow a lot better.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Feel like it hits a lot better if the episode flows naturally. It's not.
If you don't have an agenda, like the agenda makes it a little crazy. So, what I wanted to talk about first is how we met.
Bro,
look, I don't know how we met, right? Like this is too
all
long
I know
ago.
is we was going to school together when we was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
We went to like a little hippie school. It didn't have no normal curriculum, no normal classes. It was all about, I mean, it was pretty free form. You know, we did our little art stuff. It was really about learning how to communicate with people. You know, if we would get into a little beefs, I'd get into a little beefs with someone else. The teachers would sit us down, have us talk about it, really get to learn how to communicate and solve problems instead of, you know, the normal curriculum. And, yeah, we was just homies at the very beginning, but low-key, we had some beef at some point.
Okay.
We had some beef and not like each other.
Wait to get into that. So yeah, like he said, he pretty much explained the entire thing. So we went to a elementary school that's very, very unconventional, right? So we went to a school where pretty much there was no required math, science, English. There was no required classes. Pretty much all it was is you just hung out with your friends all day, and if you ever got into an issue, or if there was like any, like pretty much it's centered around communication and learning how to communicate effectively, right?
Exactly. They wouldn't just give you detention. You would actually have to show up and talk things out.
They would force you to have like a conversation and figure things out.
They really taught you how to settle shit and to not be just have like, okay, you're both in trouble. You get this amount of time as punishment, and then you guys are back together. No,
because that lets the tension build even more, and
exactly. It doesn't solve anything.
The potential for a bad situation.
People. But yeah, people would actually have to sit down, talk about it, figure it out, solve it, and come to some sort of revolution with it. Resolve that
Revelation.
We on that shit.
We on that shit
live.
I mean, I guess that's a connection I never really made. It's just
we
like
resolving shit.
We was getting revelations. We was having revelations from the jump.
I mean, isn't that what life is? There's a ton of problems that we constantly solving.
Yeah, life is just problems. All right, we got some
non-stop problems.
We got Carl.
Anybody I know who's in here right now?
Okay, I don't know which Carl this is, right? I don't know, but somebody named Carl's Jr. is mid, bro.
It ain't like that.
Hey, bro, if you're the owner of Carl's Jr., yo, shit is mid.
You ain't doing it like that.
But
that's some drunk food. That ain't nothing else.
So yeah, like I was saying, like we met at like probably we met
We're
in like kindergarten.
so we're like 4 years old.
So we were
I mean,
like
this
3
shit
or
goes
4.
way back. We don't really. I mean, it's so long ago. We ain't gonna remember.
I mean,
the
I don't
details.
remember the exact details, but like you almost mentioned a little bit before. It's like I don't know if we were that close at the very beginning.
We weren't, and honestly, we were homies, but we weren't close. And then we had some beef because.
But I'm trying to think between when that was, because here I'm trying to think in chronological order.
It was 5 or 6.
So we were like 4-3 when we met, and then we had a few years of school together, and then in like the 2nd grade maybe we had the beef. Well, no, I think we had the beef while we were in the bigger yard. So it had to be later.
Because look, there was 3 yards to it. Basically, the school was divided. There was different age groups. You had the like kindergarten group, which was like 3 to 5, and then around like 6, I think you'd go to the 2nd yard, which is more of the older kids, and then eventually you became like 8, and you'd go to the oldest yard. But yeah, we had our beef around like 5 or 6. While we had this beef, it's because I used to play these games all the time. They're called, what was the name of those games? It was Pajama Sam. Yeah, Pajama Sam. It was like a little adventure game you'd play all the time. I was obsessed with it as a little kid.
Shout out to Pajama Sam. That
shit was crazy. It's that game. It was like an acid trip or something.
So good.
It was some random stuff. But one time we was on the playground. All of a sudden, Asher starts talking reckless, talking about Pajama Sam don't like me. Oh, I was having a sleepover at Pajama Sam. We was playing video games. We didn't invite you.
I was straight capping.
He was capping. I don't know why he was hating on me, but
I was just making shit up to antagonize this dude. I was legit just making shit up.
But I didn't take that. I didn't like that shit. We started having beef over it, which is funny to think about. Little kids getting over beef because we have like a fictional character.
Like legit. Like, okay, let me like explain it. Like he kind of explained it, but he went into a little bit too much detail with like the game. Okay, so for those who don't know Pajama Sam, it's a video game. It's a computer game for kids. Pretty much we were both playing this game. I'm pretty sure he introduced it to me. I don't think I even like knew the game before. He introduced me to this game. He was obsessed with it. Like he would draw this character all the time. He would just have a bunch of different things to do with this character.
Game was crazy.
I started playing the game, and then for some reason, I can actually explain this in a second. So actually, I'll explain it right now.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who came into the school before or after we were friends rather. So he came in a few grades later. And so we had known each other for like 2 years. This kid came in and like didn't know anybody, but we became really close friends. This kid was just sort of from a different environment in which I wouldn't call him a compulsive liar, but he would lie pretty often. So he would about just bullshit. Like he would just be like, "Oh yeah, I have these Legos, I have this, I have that, I have that."
Just to start issues and to make
and he just wouldn't have
them. They make him more likable.
Make him more likable, exactly. And so this kid started rubbing off on me pretty heavily, and like I got to a point where it was like I thought it was cool to just like say shit, just like not true things, because I
bullshit
thought
out your ass.
just to see what people's reactions would be, just to get a reaction out of people. And so like I knew this dude loved this game. He introduced me to the game. I came up to him one day and I was like, "Yo, bro, like I'm cool with Pajama Sam. Like we had a sleepover the other night," and he pretty much told me he doesn't fuck with you, bro.
And I hated that shit because I play his games all the time. And like, what do you mean? You bullshit, and like I knew for a fact that you was just fucking with me. And I hated that shit, and and the thing was, he never admitted to it. We just low-key, after that, it kind of rolled out where we just started to not like each other. It started beef for a year and a half because of that smaller incident, which is really funny to look back at because, we was little kids.
No, we was little ass kids. It was literally like we would do this thing where it was like, when we would have a message for the other person, the person who I was literally talking about who joined the school a little bit later and would like do all the lying shit, he became like the mediator. So
low key. He was kind of the top dog of the group. But
we would literally send messages like to each other through that guy.
Dead ass. Because
like I'd be like, "Hey,
we didn't have the balls yet to go up to each other and start shit."
It was literally things like, "Hey, tell Trip I said fuck you."
Exactly, and it would go back and
then
forth.
he would be like,
some childish
"Hey,
shit.
Trip said fuck you," and then that was literally it. So we beefed for a little bit,
and somehow it is fixed.
And it literally one random day, it was like, I'm pretty sure we just like were at school and we were just like happened to be together.
Yeah.
We were just like,
we're just kicking it again. And
like,
low-key, I feel like time heals things, and as little kids and low-key, we started to realize it was some dumb shit, and we had fun just kicking it. So why beef over a fictional character?
Yeah, no, that shit is.
And then after that, it's history. After that, we started just going off. We was a little duo for a long time.
For a minute.
For a long time. And I feel like with our relationship, we've definitely had our periods where we don't hang out a lot and we don't kick a lot, and then have our periods where we're constantly with each other. We're constantly on our shit. And right now, I feel like it's definitely one of those periods where we're not with each other as much. but I feel like quarantine is just a weird time where most of the time I'm not with people. Well, what's happening right now?
Nothing. So, I'm just gonna address this real quick. First of all, Myra's in the chat. If you're still here, Myra, what's up? It's good to hear from you. Glad you joined us today. This is gonna be a funny episode. Number 2, somebody in the chat named Carl. Like there's a Carl I know,
That ain't Carl
the
Jr.
homie, and this person, Carl, wouldn't know you.
Okay, yeah.
And so whatever this Carl person just said, he said something about you. He was like I guess like I'm sure it was a joke. I'm not trying to shit on you, Carl. If you know us, like I'm not, or whoever.
Hey, they know.
whatever
Hey,
their name-
listen, I forget a lot
No,
of
no,
faces.
no,
I'm
no,
bad
no,
with
no,
names.
no. Just listen. So he just said like, oh, no wonder Trip's so stupid because I was saying we came from like the same spot. I don't know who this person
Hey,
is.
yo, get off my
Ben,
dick.
and that's what I'm saying.
We
So
geniuses.
like relax.
Don't play with
First of
it.
all, relax. Second of all, Ben was just responding to them in the chat, and it's like, I don't know who you are. Say who you are so that we don't think you're some fucking weirdo in the chat.
Hey, Carl, listen.
Like you could just
I don't
say
know
who you
like
are,
that,
and we would be like, no,
but at
no.
the end of the day,
I don't think their name is Carl, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
But
It's like-
regardless, whoever's behind that screen, Carl, you can get the smoke any day. you fucking with my boy. You fucking with me.
they're not really fucking with me. They called you stupid, and then they're beefing with
but
Ben.
Loki said you was stupid too.
No,
because they
that
said
is
you
what they're
cut from the
implying.
same
That is
cop.
what they're implying. I don't even know what that means. Okay, please say
He
who
just
you are, so
bullshitting.
we don't think you're just a like. Why? I don't know why you'd be on my live stream. Anyway, they're distracting from the topic. Regardless,
Carl, just enjoy the show.
so yeah, just enjoy the show, bro. Stop talking. So yeah, it was really just like it was really a nothing. It was like, who are these people in the chat, bro? I'm so confused.
Bro,
I
fuck
think
the
they're
chat.
just bro. They're trolling.
Fuck
they have
the
to
chat.
be trolling.
Let's just get back to me and you.
Ben, stop showing me the chat. Stop showing. Stop showing me the chat. People are
Fuck the
all
chat.
people from you. I'm pretty sure they're coming from your Snapchat or something. Like, because these are all clearly troll accounts. Nobody's real names.
Hey, listen. I love the trolls. I love the hate. We love it. That just means we got attention on us.
Oh
That's all
God,
that
y'all are
matters.
giving me views and shit. So it's like if there's
Hey,
real
yo, I
beef, I
appreciate
appreciate it. If you guys are just fucking around, I appreciate that too. And thank you guys for coming to the show and giving me some algorithm fucking
Hell yeah,
some
they
boosts.
getting us more shit.
Feels good.
Let's get back to it. Fuck these
Let's get back to it.
comments.
So yeah, like, you know, obviously we had the little beef in the beginning, but you know, the moral of the whole story is like I've really known you since I was like 3 years old.
No,
Whether we
deadass,
went
deadass.
in and out of like being really close homies, there was a point, probably around when we got into like little nursery, when we moved to like the older kids area of the school, where you and I were just like that.
Yeah,
like,
we know
like,
we clicked, and we was just always on our shit together.
just always on the same shit. It was like, and I say this like a lot of times, like when I'm talking about like different things I was into. You were super, and we'll get into this in a little bit more detail. You were like mad into art from the jump,
Yeah,
pretty
no,
much.
definitely.
And so,
I was
like-
always drawing shit, always throughout the playground, and spending my time making little doodles, making little stuff.
No, like bro, like we can get into it. Like this nigga literally made and sold comic books.
Oh, we trying to get into that, yeah.
like
so
legit
so
comic
every
books.
every year we would have a little bazaar for our schools, a little
It was
fundraiser.
like a fair where you could
And
sell
we would-
arts and crafts and stuff.
And you know, people would have games that they would do shit on. People would make little things that they would sell, and it was all like kids. So it was a little kid shit. And I would make these comics. They were called Super Ghost. And
there were more than Super Ghosts.
no, but the first start off with Super
Hobos?
Ghost. Super Ghost was like the first 3 years I was doing that shit. So Super Ghost is my little comic. Then Loki, you and the other kid we was talking about earlier bit my style. They made Super Ghost Cat and then Super Ghost what?
I made
hamster.
Super Hamster.
You made Super Hamster. But was you a ghost too?
He might have been a ghost. I seem to recall him
Yeah.
being a ghost. That was definitely bitten off you.
Yeah, but we know we was all selling our shit, all making our little comics. And then as it went on, I started making this other comics because I got over that shit. So I made this comic called it was called The Adventures of Hobos.
The
and
Adventures of the Hobos.
And it was about these 3 hobos who went on some fucking adventure. And I remember there was a lot of controversy with the comic because one of the hobos was a homeless person. He was drawing him out his pants and his dick was hanging out. And a lot of the parents in the school didn't like that shit because, you know, his
Did
dick
you
was
actually get people like...
There was definitely, I remember some parents were walking up and they would be like, they would look at it and they would be like, oh, we're not buying this.
Oh, but they
Because
didn't say anything to you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm 7 years old. What are they going to
Well, I know, but I was just saying that would have been crazy. If
Yeah, but
said something.
they definitely saw that there was
Yeah.
a dick in it, saw that
So
there was some
this kid is
nudity, and they
fucking-
didn't want to mess with
This
it.
kid is foul. That's what
And
they
then
said.
yeah, they put it down. And then after that, I made a little comic called The Adventures of Jimmy and Melcat, which was basically I had a
Melcat.
little cat, and I was obsessed with that cat. It was just the coolest fucking cat. Come home, he was mad chill, pick him up, put him around my neck like he was a scarf, and I made a comic off of that, and then that was the last comic, and then we eventually graduated at school, went on from Play Mountain Place, and then we went to our middle schools together. And I went to the 6th grade. He went to the 7th grade. But after the first year of that, I skipped to the 8th grade, and then we was in that shit together. But that first year of hopping into middle school, we weren't that close again. Like I said, we kind of go in and out. We have periods where we're real close, and have periods where we kind of are apart. But regardless, at the end of the day, you my bro regardless.
No, at the end of the day, there's
no breaking this loyalty.
No, you just can't, because there's like a certain level, right? It's of just like. There are certain people in my life who it's like I love with all my heart, but at the same time, I would never put, my life on the line for them. I would never, I don't know what will happen with that relationship.
Yeah.
Like, something fucking crazy would have to happen for our relationship to be end.
No, definitely.
And by that, I mean, one of us would have to be on meth and, murder the other one's entire family. Like, it would be,
some crazy shit
no,
that.
Some legit, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if we ever did something that would make us question the friendship, it would be fucking world shattering.
Yeah,
because that's because when you put trust into somebody from elementary school on, and that person has never legitimately done you wrong, in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
it's just that's a level of loyalty that is there, and you never have to question it. And if you were to question it, it would just be what the fuck? You would just not know what to believe.
Yeah,
anymore.
The thing is, our loyalty goes so back, and I've never done you wrong. You've never done me wrong. Of course, friendships have our differences. We've definitely had our differences in the past. But at the end of the day, it's all love regardless. It's always going to be loyalty.
Yeah.
Bro, we could not talk for 10 years or some shit, and we would still click back. It would be the same shit, bro. There's no breaking it apart. And that's why I know recently we haven't seen each other as much. Quarantine has definitely everyone apart from each other. Everyone's kind of distant. Friends are falling off. But at the end of the day, it's the same shit when we still link up. We still bros at the end of the day, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, so, I mean, 100% agreed. I wanted to get into, sort of based on the talk we were just having, I was going to ask you pretty much how much of an impact do you think doing so much art in the past had on you wanting to do art now?
Okay,
but that's a better question I wanted to ask that came into my mind while I was thinking of that is, how do you feel about your artwork now compared to how you did back then?
I mean, honestly,
because I know it has to be different.
It's a love-hate relationship. With my artwork, there's going to be times I feel really good about it, and there's going to be times I feel really bad about it. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if do you ever feel like that?
That's exactly how I feel with music.
I mean, that's
all
just kind
of
being an artist. You make shit, and sometimes you get on a roll where you're really proud of your shit. You feel like you're really putting out the effort, you're really putting out the work. And there's other times I'll be drawing my shit, and it just ain't coming out how I want it to. It doesn't feel it. I don't have that energy that I want it to bring when I come
do you ever question your love for it when that happens?
Oh, most definitely. There's some times where I'm like, why is this shit even worth it?
Yeah, why am I even doing this?
Sure, there's gonna be tons of artists out there. There's a huge competition with it. Why is my shit different, and why is my shit more impactful that it's gonna stand out and it's gonna be different from everyone else?
I'll be honest with you right now. Your skill is probably the most valuable it's ever been at this moment.
Hey, I appreciate it.
You know why?
Why?
You know anything about NFTs?
Bro, you was just talking to me about
NFTs.
Bro,
listen to me.
That's just crazy.
Listen to me, bro. So, not that you would necessarily need to do this. There's this guy. I completely forget his name. He's an NFT artist. He's been making non-fungible token art every day for the past 13 years.
Okay.
Or so, right? It's a long fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
This dude just sold a piece for, and obviously I might be butchering this, but it doesn't matter if I'm butchering it because I don't know his name, so people can't fact check me. This dude was making his art for fucking 13 years, right? He just sold a piece and probably made $50 million on it.
That's fucking crazy. What kind of art does he make?
We would have to look into it, but it's literally pretty much what NFT as art is.
Was he a well-known artist before this shit?
I'm sure he was, but
okay,
all it is him just continuing to do this shit for 13 years, a piece every day.
Yeah.
If you could make a piece every day, whether you loved it or not, and just put it out for 13 years,
it's more exposure.
You would get somewhere. Trust me, you would fucking get somewhere.
And that's definitely one of my problems I want to talk about is, as an artist, I don't know if you have this, but me especially, I have a lot of, I don't know, I get in these roles where I'm putting out a lot of art, and then I just have a period where I don't put out anything for months.
Oh, trust me,
I don't
bro.
work on
Literally
shit.
everybody fucking watching this knows this shit already.
Yeah, it's
like
I don't know what it is.
it's art, right?
You
Like
don't,
this is
you don't
all
feel
it
the
is,
love
right?
in it. Like you make something and it doesn't hit, or you literally just don't have that energy for some reason. You don't have that pull to sit down in your chair and make that shit happen.
Yeah.
And I have my periods. I remember like a year ago I had a period where for like half a year I wasn't drawing at all, and then I hopped back into it and I was on a roll. I was making piece after piece, getting that shit out, and then it just out of nowhere, like a whiplash, and it stopped. Where I just, for some reason, wasn't sitting down, wasn't putting in the work.
Well,
that I used to. But then I hop back in and I start doing it again. So it's like it's a back.
Yeah,
it's a roller
I
coaster
think
of
that's
this
how
shit.
I think that's how it's supposed to be though, because I think, like I don't know how hard you work on it necessarily when you're in it, right? Like I don't know if it's like
I definitely put my all into it.
like that's the thing is if you put your all into it, that's obviously a good thing, and I think you'll make the best art possible. And for me, it's more about when you're on those off times, you still need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily putting your all into it though, right? So it's like for me, something that I can do every single day that's pretty easy, like genuinely, like if I just sit down and do it, it'll get done.
Mm.
And that's make a beat, right?
Yeah.
I can make a beat so easily. And just like for you, that could be a sketch that doesn't have that much detail. Maybe it's a sketch on paper. Maybe it's something else.
That's the thing.
But it's like it's what I would do is literally this is like if you're not feeling like really into like the drawing shit, it's like every day set a timer for 15 minutes and just draw for 15 minutes.
Exactly.
And then
I need to get the discipline to make something I don't love, but at the end of the day I'm making something.
Yeah, no, it's just about practice.
The crazy thing is a lot of times I make something I don't love, people are still gonna think it's hard. People are gonna still fuck with it.
Yeah.
It's just me as an artist. I'm very critical of my work. I'm very specific about my work.
100%.
And it low key, it kind of cock blocks me. I don't put out shit that low key can give me more attention because I don't feel it's up to that standard, and I need to get the discipline and more just kind of be like, fuck it. I don't have this ego that I'm holding.
Yeah,
up.
No. That's a great point. Here's a point I want to touch on right now, and that's the biggest thing holding you back as an artist, and this is speaking for myself. Obviously, I don't do that. Like I'm not, fucking doing everything I should be, is your ego, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at it, it's like when you make a piece, are you thinking in your head at all, what are people going to think of this?
Most definitely. I feel like even if I enjoy it, there's definitely always thinking about the outside perspective.
Yeah. So for me, it's like the biggest problem with me is same. Like I do the same shit. Biggest problem for me is like that's your ego taking over.
Yeah,
because ultimately, when it comes down to it, that's pretty much just you caring about other people's opinions.
Oh, most definitely.
That's all it is. And you're letting it affect what you truly love doing, and how much of it you put out and what you put out.
Oh, no, most definitely.
Like that shit genuinely controls me.
But it is,
based on
it
like.
is hard to break that. And
it's hard to break it, especially in.
There will be times where you don't give a fuck about what your people like think of your work and how they perceive it, and there'll be times where then all of a sudden your ego comes up and it becomes a problem, where you have an issue with how like if your shit's up to quality. Like there'll definitely be times where I have a rollout where I don't give a fuck. I know for a fact my shit's hard. I know I'm making hard shit, and then there's times where I'm like. I question it. I'm like, is this really as hard as I think it is?
No, but and the thing is, I think that's healthy overall because I think that you should never think you're the shit all the time.
No,
right?
definitely, because then it's delusional thinking you're the shit all the time.
But for your art or your practice of your art or whatever your passion is to be interrupted, especially how much you put it out. Because for me, that's the bigger problem, right? I'll continue to make songs forever, but how much I put out ultimately is based off how much. Do I care about what other people think about this right now?
And I know for a fact you have at least 2 albums worth of songs that haven't been released yet.
Yeah.
And shit that I know you won't release because you showed me 2 years ago. And the shit was fire, but for some reason you never released it. So I know you definitely have the same problem as me. And it is a healthy problem, but it's also, there's a balance. You don't want it to take control of you where you're not dropping stuff because you're always thinking about the quality of it. But at the same time, I see a lot of people who are literally put out really bad fucking songs, really bad art, and think that they're going to get that traction from it because they're putting stuff out. And there's definitely a balance with it of having good quality stuff. Because it's low-key crazy how many times I hear people be like, oh, I made this fire song, I'm up next, doing all this shit. And I listen to it, and it's so ass.
Yeah.
It's straight up like, I'm thinking, are you delusional? Is this shit bad? And this doesn't affect you at all because my boy shit fire, but there's a lot of people who just don't know what they're doing, and they just fucking put out bad products.
Fake it till you make it, baby. I
But
mean,
sometimes that could be bad because a lot of people.
No, that could be bad for sure.
They never have any progression because they don't look at their shit critically.
Yeah,
They
you
look
need to look
at
at
their
it
shit as it's
objectively.
fire, and they don't feel a need to improve it. And what happens?
Yeah,
they
no,
don't
that's
get any
that's
improved.
literally something we talk about all the fucking time on
Like,
here.
I ain't
It's
gonna
like,
name any names, but there's a lot of people on my Snapchat and your shit ain't it. I hate to say it. Look at your shit and reevaluate it. That's not me being an asshole. That's me trying to help you out. Hey, sometimes I put out shit and it ain't it, and I gotta look at it and reevaluate it.
No, agreed. But it's just about objectivity, but also you got to lose the ego. Like that's the biggest thing for me, and that I'm still working on to this day is not giving a fuck about the day I drop the song. How many numbers are on my Spotify? How many numbers are on this? How many numbers are on that? Because
That's
ultimately,
comparison.
Because I know
comparison will destroy you.
Because it's
destroyed
like
me sometimes.
Like I have songs that I know I want to drop and I know are really good, and the fact of the matter is I've dropped so many songs that I know almost for a fact that it's not going to go viral and it's not going to break me, right?
Yeah.
And so in my head there's a barrier that comes up, and it's like, what's the purpose for putting money into dropping this song, putting all the time into promoting it, if only a certain amount of people are going to hear it?
No, definitely.
And that's
I
fucked.
get that.
But ultimately, the reason for that is so the people who want to listen to the music can listen to it. And
you gotta break past that barrier because there's no way to get that pickup of an audience if you're not putting out shit. You gotta put out shit regardless if you don't think it's. I mean, it's always best to drop shit that's up to quality, but if you're dropping shit so infrequently where you are not getting any type of traction because people will forget about shit.
Yeah.
You gotta drop consistently, and that's definitely something I need to work on. You definitely drop way more shit than me, but it is also something you need to work on.
Yeah, but like, bro, I haven't dropped a solo song since July last year.
That's crazy.
It's not that good.
That's not good.
That's not a good thing.
All right, so maybe I take that back. Maybe both in the same boat.
I haven't, because here's the thing: is all the drops with Terra is like, he takes half the load of the drop every time. So it's like, it's not even like full effort.
Well, Terra,
you know what I'm saying?
Terra's always been in the shit of dropping consistently. Literally for the past 3 years or even more, he's always dropped shit consistently.
Yeah.
And shout out to Terra, that's the boy.
That's the homie.
We know we love you, bro. You a real one. Keep on dropping your shit. All your songs that are unreleased, fire. All the shit that is released, fire.
Oh God, Terra been dropping fucking heat. We got a song out right now, by the way.
Terra, you got to teach us the discipline of constantly putting out
In My
shit.
Sleep out now. You can see right there. It's on all platforms. In My Sleep, Lil Terra, Kid Revel. Streaming right now.
Get that shit.
But yeah, I mean that's just an overall. I think that's art, bro. I think that's what it is. And I'm not saying we should accept it and whatever, but it's like what releasing art comes down to and what monetizing your art comes down to. What you looking for?
My fucking vape.
My vape.
My vape. I'm trying to get dummy.
So I think ultimately what it comes down to is to release art and to monetize your art, you have to have equal parts ego, so you're confident in yourself, but also you got to release the ego of caring what other people think about it, right?
Yeah, no,
you should be confident in what you're doing. You can't care about what people are thinking, but you also have to you just have to be consistent, I think. And here's my problem, right? Is like I don't like being that consistent because I don't feel like I can keep up a consistent aesthetic in terms of my profile and in terms of other shit like that, right? I feel like it's just hard to be that consistent for that long and have it maintaining the quality. I feel like it'll drop off at some point.
Yeah, because you put out too much, it becomes not an art form, it becomes a product.
Exactly.
You're dropping a product, you're dropping shit that it doesn't have the soul in it.
Exactly. I mean, but, you know, I think the biggest thing for me is I just have to put the same amount of effort behind every release, and the same goes for you, and the same goes for anybody that is trying to monetize and release their art or release something that, like, you know, project, whatever it is like, analyze it, make sure, like, you genuinely think it's good, always show it to, like, a couple people, but really make a plan that gives you confidence in the art, right? So for you, it's kind of different because it's not like you're dropping a song, maybe dropping a music video, maybe doing this and that. But with each piece you drop, it's like make that piece the best it can be and maybe come up with like a few little tactics to market it, but have a plan behind it.
Yeah, that's the thing. What I need to low-key get on, and not low-key, high-key, what I need to figure out is how to make my drops worth it. Because I'll drop an art piece on my Instagram, and sure, I'll maybe do a cover art for someone or be some personal shit, but all it's going to get is likes. It's actually not going to. And sure, it gives me, it puts me out there, but I need to start getting on my clothing shit. I need to definitely get way more fucking cover arts for people.
Okay. Pause, first of all.
Pause, okay.
Pause
Rewind.
Because the merch thing is cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creating clothing. But if you're not going to put all your time into being a clothing line person, it's not worth it yet.
Yeah.
What's worth it is putting your art out there to the point where you're making a good amount of money, mostly doing cover art, mostly doing your own shit. There's plenty other places that I clearly am not naming just yet in terms of releasing your art, but it's like until you have a fan base that's a fan of your art, which to me is like, it depends which space you want to get into, right? But if you want to get into the rap space, if you want to get into the hip-hop culture, the fastest way is cover art. And so it's like really putting your time and effort, like making a Fiverr account. That's like for fucking whatever, for cover art, and doing like just all these little things, getting your art out there more and more, getting more and more practice in, because the merch is only worth it if it's profitable, right?
People naturally will draw to things and want to buy stuff that has a following to it.
If it has a following, but it also just needs to have meaning behind it, right? It's I would buy your merch right now, and your friends would buy your merch, but
would randoms buy my merch?
Why would a random buy your merch?
Yeah.
It's like it's not like you're popping. It's not like there's a lot of
there would be reasons if this shit is hard enough that they want to drop it, but a lot of people, they want that shit cheap.
But it needs to be like any art that I've seen like on a shirt that I really wanted to buy was never just art. It was whether it was the color palette, whether it was because it was attached to a certain artist, whether it was like attached to or it was like a specific piece of clothing with like some like not zippers, because I don't fuck with zippers on clothing, but like something special about it. Like it was a little extra like heavy. It was a little extra.
It was
like,
different. It was something different. You couldn't get out.
Those were the only things that I've ever paid attention to, right? And the way to get, the best example I have is like Poppy Codone, right? And I know you like Poppy Codone.
Bro, Poppy Codone, big inspiration.
He's been doing cover art for fucking years, and he makes a good amount of money.
Bro, I remember following this shit back in like 2016, 15.
But this dude painted his merch.
Which
like
is
if you
crazy.
see his shit, like it's all hand done. And if you did that would make it much more worth it for people, right?
Yeah.
But if you're just like doing a good drawing and putting it on a hoodie, unless you have a following or some aesthetic that people are particularly fucking with, or people fuck with you as a person or whatever, it's not really worth it. Because merch is an endeavor that's like, it's deep.
If I made some shit, it definitely wouldn't be fast production, just getting a design and printing it on a shit ton of shirts and putting it out there. I would be more interested in dropping quality pieces that are very exclusive.
Yeah.
They're very one-on-ones, or like there's only 10 of them. And you're gonna get your money's worth. There's gonna be love in the piece. There's gonna be quality.
Well, see, if here's the thing: is you love clothes, right? So when I said don't do the merch, I only meant don't do the merch if you're not willing to put the time into finding the correct fabrics, into making merch that you're really proud of, right? Just don't come up with a piece and print it, right? But I know you love clothes, and if you're willing to put the time and the thought and the effort into making the clothes with the art, that can be a worthy endeavor, right?
Exactly.
Because then you're getting into the point where...
And that's definitely something I want to get on in the next... Shit, hopefully this year I can get some shit like that popping. I got the money saved. I just need to actually put in the effort.
You need to put in the effort, but for me, the biggest thing is like you're not going to be confident in it unless you come up with a plan.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what am I going to do this year? Am I going to try and make a clothing line? Am I going to try and drop 3 one-of-one pieces, 4 one-of-one pieces, 5 one-of-one pieces? How much am I going to sell them for? How am I going to advertise it? Am I going to have some of my homies wear it and post photos with it?
Yeah.
What are these marketing tactics going to look like? Do I have leeway if I end up making these pieces? Will it be too expensive? So if I don't sell them, I'm going to be losing money.
Exactly.
Does that even matter to you? Like, you got to come up with the plan and execute it, and it won't always execute the way that you plan it, but the way that I've done all the things I've done in the past few years, dropped 2 projects in a year, recorded the entire project with Terror, and just get my shit out there as much as I have, gain over 10K on IG, over 40, over 50K now on TikTok. The way I did all these things, except for the TikTok one, that's kind of bullshit.
You finesse that shit.
That one was
finesse
a finesse.
The game.
That one was a finesse.
Finesse the game real quick.
You know, the way I went about all those things is all of it was planned.
Yeah.
Not even that deep, but it's always like, okay, reverse engineer it. What do you want out of this next year? Exactly. Do you want to make money off your art, or do you just want to build a following? Because those are two different goals.
It's both goals would be most I would like.
I know, but first, what do you need to do?
You need to build a following.
You need to build a following.
How are you gonna get money if you don't got a following?
Exactly. So it's like whether and like I brought up with the NFT thing, it's like obviously the NFT world is gonna be fucking scattered, but it's just starting. Things with NFTs, they can be exactly what you're making right now. You don't need to do anything different. All you need to do is upload it to an NFT website and then advertise it and then have people buy it for $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're in a space that's brand new. People are just starting to get into. It's going to become ridiculously oversaturated, and that's going to drop back down. That's just my prediction. It's going to become super oversaturated. It's going to drop back down, and then it's going to make a consistent amount of money. But ultimately, what the NFT market is it's an art trading place on the internet. So the way you see a Picasso, the way you see a Basquiat, the way you see a fucking Salvador Dali real life painting where it's verifiable, that shit's worth $10 million because of who it was made by, all this other shit, right? What an NFT is it's that same thing, but it's verifiable by a code. And you could print it out and put it up on your wall, and somebody's like, oh, like you have that fucking NFT on your wall.
I feel like it's gonna be a wave of this shit, but who knows what's gonna happen?
No, I disagree.
You don't think it's gonna just be a wave?
I disagree because, like I said, I think it'll become super oversaturated. But I think over the course of the next, 50 years, everything's gonna get more and more electronic.
It's gonna get more digital. It already has with music, movies.
People are gonna love having real art, but real art is gonna become more and more rare because of how many more people just make their shit online or make their shit on their computer.
People care more about the convenience.
Like, people don't do like real art and paint. Obviously people do, but like that shit is not who the creators are going to be, who are going to be making all this fucking money off their art,
Shit's
right?
It's moving all digital, bro.
It's going to literally, like I said earlier, somebody sold like a painting, an NFT for like $100,000. I mean like $100 million.
Yeah.
Maybe not 100 million, maybe it's more like 40 million, couple million. It's a lot
of if it's in the millions, that's
money.
Crazy.
It's a lot of fucking money. And ultimately what that's doing is it's cementing the position of the digital art form. And that means that anybody who creates things digitally, or anybody who creates not real physical art that you can touch, can monetize that and can sell the single piece. So anybody can see the piece, anybody can screenshot the piece, anybody can do this, but one person owns it.
And low-key, people will care more about the fact of owning it. People will care about that. Like we talked before, shit being exclusive and someone having the rights to being like, I actually own this. I'm the one that has control.
Yeah, like imagine a piece of art going viral.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously viral. Like Pepe meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That going viral, and then you're like, whoa, like that's a crazy art. And then somebody goes, oh yeah, I own Pepe.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, the guy who made the art piece put it up on the NFT site. I bought it for 10 grand. I own Pepe. And so you guys are all posting it, but I own the shit.
Exactly.
And it's like, thinking about it.
And that's where shit comes more to social status.
Exactly. No, thinking about it now is like, you're like, what the fuck? Because we're still in the age of if I bought a Picasso, y'all would be like, holy fucking shit. And if I bought some NFT that was worth a bunch of money, you guys would probably be like, that's cool.
But it's because this shit's new.
It's because it's new, and we haven't entered the age of where digital is as valuable as physical.
If it isn't a wave, it definitely is just at the beginning, and as shit's going to go on, it's going to become more valuable. It's going to start taking over the market. I mean, let's think about it. People weren't thinking that digital fucking, like, having, like, Netflix and shit like that. People were still on Blockbuster, and they didn't think that was the new revolution.
They were like, this is never going to work.
And the shit took over.
Well, you just never know what's going to happen, right? I could be completely wrong with my predictions, and I could be and real art could be what, comes out on top and what ends up making all the money. Time will tell, but like I said, it's like, all I say is you should get into researching some NFT stuff. Just researching how to upload your stuff to NFT websites, because dude, I'm telling you, NFTs work like this. NFTs work like the stock market. NFTs work like real art. If you are making your art for the next 5 years and you're making some good money off it, off selling it off NFTs, doing cover art, doing commercials, doing whatever the fuck it is, just doing your art, and then one day you happen to get a one of your art pieces on a Supreme hoodie,
And
a
it blows
Gucci
up.
hoodie.
The thing is about blowing up, and this is also the same with your music, is when one thing blows up, the value of all of the other work that you
Everything
put out there
goes up.
fucking increases.
So it's like if you already have a couple NFTs on the market, obviously you wouldn't make the most money off of having sold these things. But these guys have a couple things worth now a couple million, right? Next piece you sell, 20 million. Because they know it's going to go up even more.
Exactly.
Like, if you get to the point where it's like you can make some serious fucking money off the art and just be in the art game. But the art game is crazy. And that's why it's so like, it's a lot of politics and it's a lot of different things. But, you know, now is the time when you can put yourself in a position where there are no gatekeepers. There's no NFT gatekeeper. In the real art world, I'm sure there's people you have to know, art reviewers, different. You have to get the connections. You have to get your art up in good, not museums, but exhibits, right? You need to you, like do all these different things. But nowadays, it's like this shit is like it's yours for the taking, pretty much. If you start putting up some NFTs and then you just happen to do something that goes viral, or you're attached to something that goes viral, or whatever, you're just making a fuckload more money, and then you are just that. You're just worth more. It's just a different game now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The game's always gonna change. It's always evolving. This shit went from a podcast to fucking coaching, live coaching on how to play the game.
That's why I told you not to like these. Like this is what this is. It's
Bro,
like because
it's casual talk.
Because we start a conversation like a little bit like, oh yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're sort of forced to talk about it, but then it draws itself into. The
thing is, me and you know each other so long, it'll always roll out. But I'm definitely gonna check out that NFT shit. Definitely gonna get on it. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick, which is kind of the reason. You ever get that feeling when you want to make some art, when you want to put out some shit, you almost get a pullback to tell you not to do it.
Yeah.
It's literally you feel it in your body, this pull not to sit down and put into artwork. And that's a lot of times what I go through. I don't know if that's depression. I don't know if that's some other shit. But it is a fight with yourself.
Well, what it is this.
I feel like artists fight with themselves.
I feel like it's this, right? It's like if you didn't have that, you wouldn't necessarily be an artist. I don't feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody who, not anybody, right? So this sort of an generalization. But at the end of the day, it's like for me, there are a lot of times when I'll be like, oh, I have an extra 2 hours. I could sit down and record a song right now, and then in my brain I'm like, but it probably won't be that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if and here's the moments that allow me to get out of that, right? Because I have like exactly what you just said. I go through that all the time where it's like, you know, I could do this thing right now, but honestly, like I don't know how it'll turn out. It might be a waste of a couple hours. I just don't want to put in like the work right now. But when you start to, I sort of started putting myself in a new mindset, right? And I'm not fully in this mindset, but developing the mindset of if you think of something to do that's legitimate, that it's not taking away anything from your day, that's not doing anything wrong. It's not like, oh yeah, should I go fucking waste 30 minutes or 3 hours on YouTube right now? That's a dumb decision, right? But if there's something that's productive in your brain that comes up, do it every time.
Hop on it instantly.
Just do it and you just have to start, right? Like ultimately.
I was thinking most of the time, the hardest part about making shit is starting
every time.
Once you actually get into it and you pick up that role, it's easy.
No, it's so easy. It's so easy.
A lot of times, even if you're working on some shit and then you don't finish it that night, the next night you still feel that role of getting back into it
because it's already started and you can get back into it. And so all I would say is like, if you have the idea to do it, it's like set a timer. That's been a big thing for me. Is like if there's anything I don't want to do, all you say is I'm only gonna do this for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything, right? Like if it's homework, if it's fucking making a beat, whatever, set a timer for 15 minutes and just sit there. If you do nothing, so be it. You tried. Like you legit tried. You sat there for 15 minutes. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to have something.
Do that break
and the 15-minute timer will be going up. And if you're not doing homework, because if I'm doing homework, I'm done. I'm not going to do that for anyone. Why would I keep doing that? But if it's making a beat, if it's recording, if it's drawing, whatever it is, you're just going to be like, okay, I'm just going to finish up this sketch and then put it away.
A lot of times what I do, which is definitely harder for you because you have to be audible. You have to be fully in that. But I'll just be listening to some shit. I'll be watching a show while I'm drawing. And a lot of times I'll have time where I just make shit that doesn't matter, make shit I don't like. But because I'm having half of my attention on my artwork and the other half on some this random entertainment that I'm watching, it gives me more of a flexibility of breaking into it without having the pressure of, oh, I got to actually break into it.
Yeah, do that as well, right? But also,
and that's what I definitely do a lot of time.
But I like, I think it's always going to be more beneficial if your art time is uninterrupted.
Yeah, you're fully in it.
I think it's just always going to be better. Like, I've tried to like listen to a podcast and make a beat before.
I mean, that's different because both of your senses are on listening. If I'm drawing some shit, my senses are on looking at it, and my other senses aren't listening to it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah.
Whatever works for every artist, but that's definitely something I'll do to make the shit easier, to make it less stressful of putting in, to make it more this flowy, and that way I also can just pay attention. I can even have more of my attention on whatever I'm watching, but the fact I'm doing some shit out of nowhere picks up. And then boom, I'm on that shit, and my attention gets pulled away from whatever I'm watching, and it's fully on my art.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, yeah. Like I said, just as long as you start it, I think 9 times out of 10, you're going to get something that you're satisfied with. And I have that experience all the time, like I said, like where I just don't feel the need to record, or I don't feel the need to do something or other, and I'll come up with some form of excuse that feels legitimate that's like and I just won't do it. But it's like for you, I feel like ultimately it's like you don't have a ton of excuses not to draw for 15 minutes, right?
Exactly.
For me, it's like I have to set up all my shit. I have to fucking do this and that. And
Bro, I got my little iPad. I pop that shit open. I get straight to doing it
and go for it. So that's what I would say for that. It's like there are plenty times for me where I just don't feel. I don't feel motivated. That's the word, right? You don't feel motivated to do this shit because a number of reasons, right? You're just tired, you're depressed, you don't think it'll come out the way you want it to, this or that. But almost always it's like every time I make a really good song or every time I make a really good beat or anytime I do any of these things, I think in my brain actively, and I haven't always done this, but as of late, I think inside my brain, I wouldn't have made this if I didn't start this right now.
Yeah.
This would not have happened. It's not like I waited another 24 hours. I would have had the same idea.
Bro, it's going into it with taking life as yeses of accepting situations than denying it and being in your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I said, if you have an idea, I mean, ideas can be written down, right? But always write it down. If you have something that you can do and it doesn't impede on your day, it doesn't fuck up your shit, like it's just like there and it's easy to do and you get it done, just fucking do it.
Exactly.
Always just do
definitely.
it. Because no matter how tired you are, no matter what it is, it's like you're gonna feel better
to
after
do
you're
that
done.
shit than let that moment pass and then try to make that moment happen again.
And you're gonna think, and if you're a real artist and you're not just doing it for money or doing it for whatever, you will honestly be more stressed about the fact that you didn't do it than if you had done it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not like if you had done it and you were like, oh, this is shit, I'm a horrible artist, like da-da-da. You're going to be like, oh, that wasn't that great.
Well, at least I went in and I put in the effort.
But at least I tried, right? And for me, it's like if I don't record or I don't do something, then I lay in bed and I'm like, damn, I'm not working hard enough. Like, I'm not that good. Like if I'm not willing to just put in the work when it's required of me and just get this shit done, maybe I don't deserve this shit.
Exactly.
And that feels horrible. And what feels a lot better is just sitting down, making something that you may or may not be that proud of, but at least you fucking got it done, and at least you put in the work to get a little bit better for next time. You learned something. There was something in that session that will benefit you in the future.
I saw a quote. I read a quote recently. I forgot exactly how it went, but it was some shit like, if you do something like, there's things in the moment that will satisfy you and make you happy and content, but to get actual contentness and happiness throughout your life, it takes suffering, it takes hard work.
Dude, it's like,
you have to put in the sweat. You have to feel that pain to actually get some shit that you're going to be proud of and satisfied with for a long period.
It's
There's
like
a lot of quick ways to just get happiness, quick ways to feel satisfied, but putting in the work is actually what
the quick fix is never the long-term solution.
It never is.
Never.
It's always happiness, and that's definitely something before quarantine I was caught up in, was the quick fix. And when quarantine hit, I didn't have that quick fix of going out and having I was partying a ton, going out, getting the satisfaction from my weekends, and then next thing would be the next weekend. But once quarantine hit, there ain't no shit to go to. It's literally me to myself of what am I going to do to make my life more satisfying, to make me more content. And it's definitely a struggle. It was a whiplash jumping into that shit, but it's definitely helped me for the better. I know quarantine has fucked over a lot of people. A lot of people bored. But that shit has low-key been a blessing to me.
Here's the thing.
Been able to self-reflect off of it.
Is I've had the same situation. Obviously, as you know, I kind of started getting off the party wave and like the wave of going out that much a little bit before quarantine.
Probably like a half year,
a half year before quarantine. But what quarantine did for a lot of people is what it did for me on a lesser extent, for you on a higher extent. It made you realize what you were spending all your time on.
Exactly.
Because then you were in for the weekend and you were like, oh, I would be out partying right now. Well,
but I don't have that satisfaction.
But I can't do it.
I don't have a quick fix of getting fucked up and kicking to people and doing my shit to make me feel satisfied in that moment. It's now just being mundane. I mean, the first few months, everyone was just thinking, okay, we got to be in our houses. No one was going out. Everyone was scared of the pandemic. Everyone was scared of coronavirus. So they didn't want to fucking go out. And it was really stuck. Coronavirus. COVID-19. We're going to get sick. We on that shit. I ain't never caught that shit once. And I've been around a whole lot of people. That shit's fake.
This dude is corona immune.
I'm
no type of shit. This dude is corona immune. Like, his girl had COVID.
My girl had that shit. I was with her.
He was living with her, and 24/7, he didn't get COVID.
30 days. Didn't get that shit. Went to the doctors.
Ain't
no type of antibodies in my system.
I don't think this dude needs to get a vaccine. I'll be honest. He's just immune.
I mean, low-key, I'll get one to low-key give me autism or some shit. If I don't already have that shit.
So you already have fucking autism,
low-key already got it.
This nigga got Down syndrome.
That low-key just means the vaccine won't do shit to me besides making me
exactly.
I already got that shit. No reason
It'll
to
just
get that
double
shit
your
again.
autism.
Double good time. Ignorance is blissful.
Ignorance is bliss.
We already know.
What are we at, Ben? What time is it? 6:52. Jesus Christ.
We in that shit. We got deep real fast.
So, okay, I don't want to go too much longer because obviously we can have a part 2 of this episode where we can go further.
We can always do a part 2.
And I don't like making the episodes over an hour. So, obviously I'm not going to just like wrap it like that, but we can go on for a few more minutes. Yeah, I mean, I think we've covered a lot of really good shit today, from just like growing up together and the way that each of us struggle with getting the art done and getting it released and getting it out there.
I mean, I think this podcast really focused on, I mean, sure, we covered our upbringing together, but it covered a lot of the struggle of being an artist and putting out that work and being satisfied with your work. Next time, we can definitely get into a lot more personal stuff, get into some crazy stories.
Yeah, no, next time we'll for sure do more crazy shit.
Well, there'll be a part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah, there will be plenty more
We'll have
episodes.
a whole little trilogy of this shit.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So, yeah, Ben, check the chat and just see, if anybody has any last questions for Trip, any last questions for me, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to run this that long because I feel like we had a really solid conversation.
Most definitely.
And if we get into another topic, we'll go for another 20 minutes.
It'll be a whole little, we'll stretch it out a little bit.
And I think we wrapped on a really good note in terms of just,
The only thing that was said that Jesse, not the homie that we know in person, but
Jesse, one of my regular listeners.
Okay, for sure.
He had said that he likes the way, he says that he likes the way that you talk, like not disrespectfully, like he likes.
Hey, I appreciate it, Jesse. We talk.
We be talking.
We know how to use our words.
We be talking. Forget about it.
Hey, catch me talking when I'm fucked up though. You ain't gonna like that.
Forget about it. Hey, Tommy. So yeah, if anybody has any questions for me,
got any more questions?
Mir, Trip, let us know.
Yo, this is Keller. What's up?
Oh, what's up, Keller? We was just talking about you at the beginning of this podcast. That's crazy. Hey, Keller, I hope you're doing good.
Good, bro. I hope you're
all is good with you.
Seriously.
I hope you surviving
I hope
quarantine.
the family is safe. I hope everybody's feeling good. I hope whatever you're doing is lit. I hope your life is satisfactory.
Exactly. Be content with your
shit.
I
hope you are content with your life right now and you're not as anxious as we are.
Yeah, no, we little anxious bugs.
We're just depressed. Angry and anxious all the time.
Hey, catch me on suicide line.
Catch me on suicide hotline.
Slit up my wrist.
But that's crazy. Yeah, no, Keller, I don't know if you were here for this whole episode, but we were literally talking about
the upbringing
in elementary school, how we were beefing over Pajama Sam.
It's some bullshit.
So yeah, it's good to know Keller's in here. That's crazy.
That's crazy you popped into this shit. I hope all is well with you, bro.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I legit haven't talked to him in probably like 4 years.
It's crazy because as life goes on, people always split apart. There's so many people I've met in the past 3 years who I don't talk to at all anymore. There's people all the way from my past I don't talk to. It's very rare for I feel like people to stick together, and it's still crazy we stick together on some shit.
Yeah, this is deeper than.
It's deep. It's deeper than this friend. It's this friend shit.
It's just like there are certain people in your life that and I've only realized this semi-recently. It's like there's certain people in your life that, you know, whether you know them for fucking, how long have I known you? Like 16 years, or you know somebody for like 5 years. It's like if they take up a place in your life that's like, they're honest, they're loyal, they're there for you when it matters, and they never give up on you, and they never just push you away for some illegitimate reason. It's like you got to keep those people around.
You know what? This is what I think it is. Friends that you can be casual and deep with, we're gonna stick around forever. If you have a friend that the shit's too casual, it's gonna not last that long. It's gonna be on some casual shit. It's gonna be on some party shit. It's gonna be in the moment. And if you have friends that it's too deep with, then a lot of times I feel like people are too used to relying on each other that they can't be apart from each other. So when it does split up for a sec, it's almost the end of that relationship.
Yeah, no,
and
but,
you could
but
go back
here's
and forth
the
of being
thing is
deep and
like
casual.
is with you and me, it's like we could literally spend like a year apart, and like the biggest like text I would send you is like, yo, why the fuck haven't we hung out, you pussy?
Exactly, and I'd be like, let's link up then, bitch.
Yeah, it's like it would never be like a yo, bro, you don't fuck with me? Like, why we ain't been kicking it, bro? Like,
I ain't gonna
like,
speak
what
no
the
names,
fuck,
but
bro?
I've seen a lot of people who just be hitting up on some, hey, we haven't seen each other in forever, getting offended over the fact that it's been time. And people have their own lives.
Yeah, what
Everyone
the
has
fuck?
their own lives.
Like, everybody's doing their own shit. If you guys don't happen to hang out, then like it's not a big deal.
Kellerhead said it's crazy to see you guys in here. It's been so long, and that he's with Jordan, or Jordan's in here too.
Hey, what's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan?
Hope it's all is well with you
yeah,
too,
seriously.
bro.
Hope
It's
the
been a
family's
minute.
safe. Hope you're feeling good.
Hope life is
Hope
good.
life is treating you well. That's crazy.
Hey,
they pulled up together.
We wish for health and happiness. That's all
Health
it
and
is.
happiness, peace and love.
Exactly.
Shout out you guys. I mean, seriously, like, just thinking about, like, you know, growing up, going to PMP, going to Star for middle school and shit. It's like, it's so
Time flies
so quick. It's like
crazy.
I went to like 3 different schools, you know, just for high school, which is nuts. But and it's so weird to disconnect from the people that were there for so long in your early life. But, you know, it's like I feel like you always have the connection with those people that you might not have with people that you meet later in life.
Exactly, yeah. But there is also the scenario where those people away from the past, you split apart and you meet up with people later in life who have more of that connection.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not saying everybody from your past is like that.
Yeah.
But, like, if we were to have a conversation with those two right now, we could bring up some stories that nobody else would know about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just some
nostalgic
shit. But yeah, shout out to you guys for real. Like I'm genuinely surprised that y'all are in here.
We love the support. Thank you for hopping in.
Genuinely appreciate the support. That means a lot. That y'all are still fucking with me and don't think I'm a loser by now.
We losers low key.
We are losers on the low.
But hey, we coming up.
Big loser gang. Big L's up.
L's only. Hey, 2 L's equals a dub.
L's only, 2 L's equals a dub.
Never have odd number L's, only fucking.
Only 2 L's.
Yeah, only. Bop.
L's up, baby.
Get that shit.
So, if nobody has any more questions, we're gonna wrap this so we don't keep going for like another hour.
Shit, we'll do a part 2 soon.
We will do a part 2 very soon before I, head to the cold. And
out to Boston.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do my outro. If y'all got any more questions, Ben will interrupt me and do it. But thank you guys for coming to Revelations, episode 23. It genuinely means so fucking much to me that y'all come through and watch this shit. It's a lot of fun, you know, just to talk with my friends and talk with other collaborators about, you know, creativity and about releasing our art and monetizing our art and the struggles that artists go through. But, you know, not everybody I have on here is an artist necessarily, but when I get to have a conversation with a close friend who's also an artist, this shit just gets like...
We might have a different medium, but it's the same type of struggle.
It's the same shit, dude. It's the same shit. So, thank you guys so much for coming. Help us finesse that algorithm. Yo.
Hey, tapping next week and tapping all forward.
Jesse wanted to say again that he really fucks with how you talk.
Jesse, I appreciate it.
Hey, that's low key sus, Jesse. Why didn't you tell me how? Why didn't you tell me you like how I talk, bro? Why don't you say you like how I talk, bro?
Hey, you heard of my boy's feelings.
How does he talk that I don't talk, bro? What the fuck?
Hey, you should just be silent. This podcast should just be me talking low key. Hey, fuck Revelations. It's the
fuck
Trip
Revelations.
Show now.
It's the Trip Show. I'm
Trip
gonna just
taking
hand over this fucking show to this dude because clearly y'all like how he talks more than me. Okay. After I say, thanks for watching, say have a good night, be safe, and don't drink and drive.
Okay.
Or you can just say don't drink and drive.
Okay.
When I point to you.
Okay.
Just say that. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Episode 23 of Revelations. I'm Kid Revel. This is Trip. Tripster made it.
It was a pleasure. We're gonna get into it next time.
At Tripster made it. At Bussin. BUSSIN .Basco
Hey, follow the personal.
BASCO
follow the
on
fucking
IG.
art
Means a lot that you guys came through. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. If you guys never want to miss an episode, got a lot of music coming soon. April 25th, motherfuckers. I'm dropping new music. Do not play with me.
Chop into that
This shit is going crazy. So, thank you guys for watching. Means a lot that you came through. Have a good night. Be safe.
And drink and drive, but don't crash.
Don't drink and drive.
Drink and drive and make sure your
Do
shit
not
don't get
drink
pulled
and
over.
drive. Holy shit. This nigga is going to get me arrested. Don't drink and drive. I love you guys.
Don't drink and drive.
Have a good night.
But low-key do.